Hey, I'm Myron at Myron's Trains on the channel that's on YouTube. This is kind of my first time doing a video. I just wanted to share about my love for trains. A little bit about myself. I started to fall in love with trains probably when I was about 5 years old, and my grandfather had a train set in the basement, and I was just tall enough just to peek my head over the table, you know, just to see the trains on it. And I guess that's what pretty much did it for me. I got my first train set for Christmas. It was a HO scale, and that's pretty much what I had mostly when I was a child. And my grandfather had a Lionel train set that he showed me. And this is kind of funny. That train set used to scare me because, you know, it would make sparks. And whenever I became a teenager, I kind of wanted to take it out of the box one day. And ever since I played with that Lionel train, that's pretty much, you know, just did it for me. You know, that was, you know, that was the coolest train that I've ever, you know, held. You know, just the feel of those trains, you know. And so, you know, I went off and went, you know, I went to high school and everything, and I kind of fell out of the whole train thing. Then after I graduated, I went and spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, and I did 2 tours of duty to Iraq, one in Fallujah and one in Ramadi, and I didn't really have time for trains, you know. I had a lot of things to do at that time, and I got out of the Marines in 2000 at the beginning of 2010, and I went to a train museum in Ogden, Utah, and you know, they had a little train store in there, and I looked up on the shelf, and there was a box that said Pennsylvania Flyer set, and it was a Lionel train set. You know, just one of those simple starter sets. So I went and bought that, and I loved it. You know, that was the coolest set around. But anyways, I moved to Cleveland, Tennessee, and my wife, she's actually from here. You know, I had my train set up, and I went on YouTube, and I started to see this system for Lionel called you know, Legacy, or, you know, TMCC, you know, which, you know, that was older, but I didn't even know about it when I was you know, younger. I didn't even know about TMCC or anything like that. So anyways, I went and bought this a Lionel Legacy GP35, and you know, that's the engine that's in all my videos, because that's all I have right now. I plan on getting more engines and a train table eventually, but that's in the near future. Anyways, so I went and bought that engine, and a couple years went by, of me using the just the conventional transformer. And man, I was wanting a Legacy Cab 2 so bad. I've always wanted that thing, but I found out that Lionel came out with I guess you could say like a Legacy Light version of it. And that was probably kind of the thing that I was looking for. I didn't really want to spend the money for Legacy Cab 2, I just don't have a need for it. I mean, yeah, Legacy Cab 2 is great and all, but I just don't have a need for something that's as fancy as that. But I still wanted, something that was handheld. I liked the look of the TMCC, but the electronics are going out of date and everything on those, and it'd be hard to find parts. So I decided to go with the Legacy Cab 1L, and it's actually really nice. I haven't had a problem out of it. It even has the whistle and horn button that is quillable, and that right when I found out that you could quill your whistle and horn with that button, just like the Cab 2, that pretty much sold it for me. On my layout when I get done, I plan on maybe only having like 4 engines, and that's another reason why I only bought this. I'm not going to have anything big or fancy. I just want, a nice, simple layout, and that looks nice, But I actually buy a lot of my cars on the internet, and a lot of them are used. Sometimes you can find a deal on there, and people will sell the cars on there in trains, and they actually don't even know what they have yet. Really, that they could sell it to a person that actually collects trains. But yeah, I just thought I would make this video and kind of tell you about myself. I actually went and picked up a car today when I was at work. I bought a coal hopper car for $25, brand new. Which, I mean, I thought that wasn't a bad deal, Yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm just crazy about trains. I just can't get it out of my system. My wife, gets on me sometimes for buying trains, but, they think I'm crazy sometimes. But I guess it's just in my blood, My grandfather, the one I told you about, he actually started with Union Pacific Railroad in 1951 as a switchman. And, he's told me some stories and everything, and, well, I mean, he's even still alive today. He'll sit there and tell you stories about it, and, it's, that pretty much just made me fall in love with trains, A lot of people these days, think that, if a person loves trains, then they're pretty much just a kid, or they haven't grown up yet. Well, that's just simply not true. I decided to put that out there because that's one of the things that really bugs me about this hobby is people automatically think that we're just kids, which every single time that I've been into a train store, it's mostly grown adults, which is kind of funny, but a lot of kids these days they're into video games and things like that, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing video games sometimes, just as long as they don't get hooked on it or anything, but because the video games that they're making these days, I mean, come on now. Really? I mean, anyways, oh yeah, by the way, I like to talk about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If you guys want to message me on Facebook, my name is Myron Van Weird, and yeah, that's just pretty much everything about me. I mean, I just love trains, and this is my first video on my channel about with me talking. I'm gonna try to do some other things, and I'm on the road a lot with my job, pretty much every day, and I can pretty much just do things on the weekends. Those first videos I put on YouTube were just, saved on my phone. I just said, just what the hell, I might as well just put a video out there. And anyways, this is a really good thing it's a really good hobby to get into, just as long as you don't let it run your life, which is hard to do. Anyways, yeah, this is Myron, and I hope you guys have a good night and keep on running those trains. Thanks.